Hello and welcome to the Alter Project. Hello and welcome to the Alter Project, and it has begun 100 days hardcore Minecraft in Altar. And my gosh, this was so tiring, but so much fun. In this video we will be celebrating the first year anniversary of this channel by playing what seems to be the most popular genre of Let's Play Minecraft on the internet. In addition to playing hardcore on this massive Minecraft map I've worked on for 5+ years, I've also added 9 boss mobs scattered all around the map for us to defeat. Each of the 9 bosses will carry a single Eye of Ender, and once all 9 are collected, we can then happily travel to an island located in the northwest where we can open the Ender portal and ultimately defeat the Ender Dragon. However, I would like to add on that killing the same boss 9 times to collect the Eyes of Enders are not permitted, as well as traveling to the Nether and getting blaze rods. Now, while I did say hardcore in the title, I did provide myself the glory to be able to respawn, but wait, don't stop watching this video hearing that, because there is still a consequence. For every time I die, I permanently lose all the resources I've gathered in my past life, including the Eyes of Ender I've collected from defeating the bosses. This means that I'll have to restart the game from pure scratch. Additionally, all the resources, ores, and diamonds I've mined in my past life won't exist in the world I respawn in either. The more deaths, the lesser the materials the map has to offer. However, this does mean that anything I built from my past life would continue to exist in my life after. Additionally, the 100-day time span would act more like a timer. Even if I die, the 100 days won't reset, therefore I would have to redo everything from before in the short amount of time I have left. The main objective for this video is to defeat the Ender Dragon at the end before the 100-day time limit is up. While I don't want to spoil much about what happened in my hardcore survival life, I would just like to say, a lot happened, so I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And for those who've been with this channel throughout the past year, thank you so much. It's really been because of your support that Lazy Me was able to post videos relatively consistently. And for those who've just joined, welcome. And I hope you have a good time with us. So let's start it. 100 days, hardcore Minecraft in Altar. We begin our journey in the very west of Altar, across the Great Ocean and to an island populated with the wild jungle life. It is day 1, and our hero must begin with the fundamentals of surviving in Minecraft. I probably already did the intro, and I probably already explained what I am going to be doing in this series. Gathering resources, hunting for food, and making a cave hut. It was in his attempt to find coal that he stumbled across a massive flooded cave. Oh my gosh, what the? Oh, I thought I already died. That was so scary. What is this place? Oh my god, oh, I'm about to... Okay, we're good. He spent his remaining day exploring the jungle and returned to his hut later in the evening to finish his first day in the harsh hardcore world of Altar. Day 2 was a day of exploration. Okay, there we go. After wandering deeper into the jungle, our hero returned to venture down into the flooded cave he had discovered yesterday. This time he brought doors with him, so he could create a space to breathe underwater. My surroundings. Okay, let's place our first door here. Reason why is because He acts as if he is the one who thought of this technique, but all of his survival knowledge really comes from watching Dream. With the help of the doors, our hero was able to find the first material he needed in order to clear this game. Iron. Oh shit. How do I, I'm so bad in water. Oh my gosh. Kill ourselves. Why are there sounds of zombies? Bro, come at me, bro. When he returned to the surface after extracting most of the iron, the sun had already set. Oh, it's already night, The beacon is nice. There's a creeper. We're going back. He returned to his hut and spent the night there. Our hero started the following morning with placing all the iron ore he collected the previous day into the furnace. Hi. He was planning to leave the island today, so while waiting for the iron to smelt, he spent his time gathering other resources such as wood and coal. also need a bunch of coal in Minecraft. Come at me. Oh, the time has come. With the sun setting behind him, our hero sets sail to Kokros Island. That's the island over there. Kokros should be this direction. It was still early in the morning when he arrived in the small island town. Mobs still roamed the area, thus without being seen, our hero sneaked into one of the dwellings to rest there for the night. Now, in terms of survival, there isn't a particular reason why our hero came to this island. He wanted to show off to his viewers the nice Hawaiian-like island he had built several years ago. So please bear a few seconds as we show some cinematic shots of Kokros Island. With his job as a self-centered builder done, he returns to his survival life with the objective to travel to a certain desert temple, where he will face his first boss. When he realized the sun had sunk and he was roaming all alone in the cold desert. He was searching for a certain plant that grew only around the temple he was searching for, the garbear flower. This strange flower grows only around the temple of Judo, and with its 5 petals, the people of the desert recognize these floras as hands that once pushed up the sky when the world was first created. Our hero was very close to the temple, but before he could progress any further, the creatures of the dark got in his way. Why is it like 2 creepers a deal? Absurd amount of creepers. Hey, we're gonna hear this creeper. Oh shit. That's really cool how the creeper lights up with Optifine. Okay. Shit. Not going according to plan. Okay. It was also at this time that the hero realized that he forgot to reset his XP level when he duplicated this map, so off screen, he reduced it. After a long night of battle, y'all just gather up. Y'all just gather up. Our hero finally made his way to the Great Temple of the Desert. We're very close. Ah, yes, we see it. Finally. Okay. Oh, there's a... Okay. Parkouring out of here. I hear zombies. And we're here, the beautiful Temple of Judo. Okay. Bitch. You're not a very difficult follower to fellas. Oh my gosh, not you again. Okay, yeah. And before he could get any sleep, morning had arrived. Our hero was out of luck. It was raining, and the mobs that spawned last night didn't seem to want to go away. Our hero was low on ration, and couldn't risk going out to hunt while all the mobs still roamed the desert. Our hero decided to camp out for the day, and waited for the mobs to disappear. The desert is dangerously scarce. No pigs, no cows, no chickens. Therefore, the only source of food were these little guys. While frail, these desert rabbits can be very nimble. It could take a pretty good amount of seconds in real life to kill these guys. And seconds in real life could become minutes or hours in Minecraft. Our hero spent the rest of the day hunting all the desert rabbits he could find, and during the process discovered a village inside a canyon of sand.
Let's just kill these rabbits.
Afraid that he couldn't make it back to the temple before the sun fully setted, he decided to spend his night at the newly discovered village. Our hero woke up the morning of day 7 with some news.
Oh shit, the trailer for Suicide Squad is out?
He cooked the rabbit meat he gathered the day before. With this, he could replenish his health during battle. Our hero was contemplating on whether it was a good idea to fight the boss now while he had a good amount of ration. The day was cloudy. However, fortunately, there were no signs of mobs. Our hero returned to the temple in hopes that today he could win his first Eye of Ender.
It's daylight? Okay. It's scary. Hopefully no mobs will pounce at him. We'll go this direction. Avoid any unnecessary fights. Up there.
However, reality wasn't so easy. As he crept towards the room, he'd realize that numerous numbers of hostile mobs populated the dark room. He would be at a complete disadvantage if he had to fight the boss as well as the other hostile creatures. Thus, he began filling the rooms with torches so mobs were no longer able to spawn. However, with the resources he had with him, he could make only so many. Night arrived and our hero decided to seek shelter in a small room he discovered on the top level of the temple.
What? And I stupidly threw away the door. We're gonna make a new one.
Only a day has passed since the rabbit hunt and our hero's ration had already depleted. Our hero needed a more stable food supply that didn't require much labor. That is when he thought of one brilliant idea. Using the water channel located on the bottom level of the temple, our hero created a miniature farm where he could grow wheat.
Oh my gosh.
He had seeds he took from the village farm, and a stack of bones he collected from killing skeletons. With these materials, our hero was able to implement agriculture in one of the driest regions of Altar. Shortly after, he discovered some gold blocks used in a mural that depicted a scene from the Book of the Dead and climbed up to mine them.
Oh my gosh.
Now, as the narrator, I would like to cut in and introduce an additional rule. Throughout this map, blocks such as diamond, iron, and emeralds are prominently utilized for decoration. And as it would be boring to be able to gather all those powerful materials so easily in hardcore Minecraft, the hero has decided to put a restriction on when he could retrieve those blocks. The restriction goes as so. The first 50 days, the player cannot retrieve any blocks of coal, gold, iron, emerald, or diamond. However, on day 50, the player would unlock access to coal and gold blocks, and on day 70 gain access to blocks of iron, on day 80 access to emerald blocks, and on day 90 diamond blocks will also become collectible. This rule is meant to spice things up a little bit, so with that in mind, I hope you enjoy. With all the fighting, the durability on our hero's axe was getting dangerously low, and to defeat this boss he couldn't risk fighting with an axe that could break any second. While already facing a problem with ration, scarcity of materials also piled up on the things our hero needed to worry about. However, his problem with materials was quickly solved. Right outside the temple was a large square that was basically cut out using World Edit. Therefore, the walls revealed the ores that lied underneath the sand. Using a gold pick, our hero collected as many coal and iron ores that he could find. With the coal, he was able to now make more torches, allowing him to light up the rest of the boss room. Day 10. Food was a major problem.
What the?
With all the moving he's done the past few days, ration depleted at a terrifyingly rapid pace. The hero also came to realize that the map's setting was set so that plants weren't able to grow naturally. This means that the only way of growing wheat was through getting more bone meal. Therefore, Operation Floor 2 was conducted. Due to not receiving any sunlight, the second floor of the temple was infested with mobs varying from spiders to zombies to skeletons. It was these skeletons that were the targets for this mission. We go in, kill the skeletons, collect the bones, and get out. Additionally, our hero had flint and steel to ignite the creepers. The plan was perfect. However, our hero soon realized the big hole that existed in this operation.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
While he was successful in killing the skeletons, he was using his hunger as fast as he was killing the skeletons. At the end of the day, not many food was able to be produced out of this mission, and the operation ended as a failure. The hero spent the night out in the desert killing more skeletons and eating rotten flesh to survive. Day 11. By surviving off of rotten flesh last night, our hero was able to avoid eating his precious bread as well as using up his bone meal. He returned to his small farm to grow more wheat, which resulted in our hero having the most amount of food he had in possession all week. Now was the best chance in killing the boss. The sun was setting and the hero was determined to beat this boss tonight and leave for the next location in the morning. The monster would be summoned with a push of a single button. One last nervous sigh, and the battle began. In his left hand was the Eye of Ender. He was the one. What makes the temple boss so difficult to defeat isn't simply the boss itself, but are the numerous shulkers that spawn around the player. In order to defeat the boss, the hero must dodge all the shulker pellets that come his way. One wrong move and you'd be sent flying into the air. To avoid taking fall damage, our hero maneuvered himself to the walls and placed blocks underneath him. He figured that if he built a bridge to the center, he could shoot the shulkers from atop. However, a single arrow changed the whole course of the battle. He barely got out alive. Day 12. The situation was dire and our hero had no food to regenerate his feeble health. If he wanted to survive, he must go down to the farm and make himself some bread. A single misstep can cost the hero his life. Carefully, he descended down to his farm. However, no luck. His bone meal wasn't enough to replenish his hunger. He was left with no choice but to go on a rabbit hunt with his current health. It is frightening to see how merciless a person can be when they're barely just hanging off an edge of a cliff. But by taking the desert rabbit's life, the hero somehow managed to escape death, and from there on out, it was a killing spree. He was that bad at killing rabbits a few days ago, but with the current situation, his senses were heightened to his maximum potential. He had completely forgotten the fact that he was playing a video game and was focused solely on surviving. After a few more hunts, our hero came back to his senses. He realized that at his current state, it was impossible for him to defeat any of the bosses without dying. The desert isn't friendly to the starving, and without food, there was no way he could fight. Next morning, he'll leave the desert behind and depart for the grasslands in hopes to find some food. Early in the morning of day 13, our hero left the temple.
We're good.
He planned to move eastwards towards the nation's capital, Alhaim. He crossed over the Great Judo Wall and passed by the Lake of Hands. And after a few minutes of walking, he finally found what he was searching for: food. The terrain was hilly and difficult to travel. By evening, he came across a valley connected by a thin layer of grass blocks. It was getting dark, and our hero didn't want to replay what happened inside the temple, this time on a thin layer of dirt 100 blocks above the ground. He quickly built himself a bridge to cross over.
Make a run for it. Run. Oh my gosh, there's so many creepers. We've entered the grasslands. It's good. Is that a village? Jump for it.
Later that evening, our hero came across a village and spent his night there. Day 14 consisted of cooking meat, looting the village, and planning for his adventures ahead. He realized that all these things could have been done last night, and with a time limit, time was more valuable than any ore on the map. He only had 86 days left, with so much left to do. Without wasting any more time, he headed to the rocky regions of the desert to face the boss lingering in the great entrance of Takra. It was the morning of day 15 that our hero arrived at the rugged lands of Takra.
There it is.
He spent the night crossing the desert while showing off his amazing parkour skills.
Okay.
Due to his tendencies of wanting to climb, he arrived on top of the entrance instead of going from below.
Seems dangerous.
To get down, our hero must take a leap of faith.
Take the risk. Awesome. Oh my gosh, that.
With the boss altar right before his eyes, the hero takes a few moments to calm down and collect his focus. The fight begins. The Guardian of Takra, a manifestation of what happens when the creator gets too carried away. In the middle of the steaming hot desert stands a pillar of turtles, and in between the turtles are gray men holding crossbows. None of this makes sense. But still, their firepower is something not to be seen low of. The hero isn't given even a moment to rest. Like a Jenga tower, the hero began disassembling the pillar of turtles. and finally, after a long period of fighting, the battle ended.
We did it!
Our hero rose victorious and was able to obtain his first Eye of Ender. While our hero planned to leave for Alhaim during the day, night had arrived. He decided to camp out the night inside the entrance building and depart first thing in the morning. Day 16, our hero left Takra and began heading northeast to where the capital was located. There he could retrieve some very valuable resources, but before that his items were in bad shape, so he needed one last upgrade before heading to the abandoned capital. He remembered passing by a mineshaft on the way here. Maybe there he could collect some more iron. By night he arrived at the mineshaft he was looking for, and upon searching he found nothing. Only a few coal and gold ores decorated the wall of the mineshaft. Day 17. From the mineshaft, our hero walked to the river where he would then build a boat to travel east. He would spend the majority of the day on water. It was late at night when he arrived at the capital.
Bye, Kelly. Thank you so much. Yep.
Now there are some things I should explain in terms of access to the capital. While the capital is filled with valuable resources and traders, due to an unknown spell, the hero is only able to collect materials and conduct trade at night. And night is when the capital is infested with dangerous mobs. Players are granted access to the capital during the day and are also allowed to kill mobs. However, any form of looting while the sun is out is strictly prohibited. The night sky was getting brighter and the abandoned city began its slumber. Our hero no longer had access for retrieving materials in the capital. He would have to find something else to do during the day. Without getting any sleep, our hero traveled directly to where the next boss resided.
$17. Okay.
Fort Brillinger, a fort used during the Great War, mostly for the purpose of a prison. After the war ended and when peace began to prosper, soldiers who didn't have a place to return built a colony inside. However, in this hardcore map, no traces of life could be found. Instead, corrupted souls have infiltrated the fort, allowing no one to enter. Our hero roasted the meat he gathered during his walk here, in preparation for his next fight. The darkest area of the fort is where our target rested. Luckily, our hero entered during the day and the undead didn't infest the decrepit fort. A moment to relax, and the button was pressed. Shogo was a wielder of 6 swords, and no, the swords aren't being held by 6 invisible zombies. To defeat it, our hero must first think of a way of getting rid of all his weapons. Using the crossbow he received as a prize for defeating the turtle Jenga, he gave the boss a few shots, enough to break one of the swords.
Piercing is so good for this. Okay.
From here on out, sword skill determined the result of the battle. Yes! Our hero rose victorious. Having possession of 2 Eyes of Ender sparked confidence in our hero's chest. The sun was falling and our hero was ready to take on the capital tonight. Unlike any other region in Altar, Alhain was a nest to some irregular mobs. Mob spawners could be found all over the city, and breaking them or placing torches on them aren't allowed. If there was one word to describe the mobs that spawn here, it was strong. One blow and nearly half of our hero's health was erased.
Yeah. Basically, they take, with iron armor, about half of your health away, so I'm just running.
In order to get to the city's center, our hero must first walk through this unlit entryway. Because of its darkness, he couldn't make out how many mobs were lurking inside, but to stop here would lead him nowhere. Fortunately, the mobs only infested the entrance, so after dodging their attacks, all the hero needed to do was run. He made it out. The hero could feel the tension on his shoulders easing. But it is from the most unexpected of places that the hero's downfall can come from.
You know what? I can take at least one of you down. Oh no!
Misery is the exact emotion the hero felt when he woke up the next morning, back on the jungle island. The same sky he looked up on day 1 was now above him on day 19. He had just wasted 18 days of his hardcore survival and must return to his previous state in the quickest time possible. There was no time for feeling distress. After getting some food, our hero returned to his underwater cave to look for some more iron.
What? I feel like Minecraft has cheated on me. Huh? I guess we're strip mining.
However, it was then when he found a surprising gift buried deep beneath the cave floor.
What? Bro, guys, I'm telling you, this is not, I did not build redstone. Hello there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. See, I wish I could get this, but I don't have any iron to dig. Oh.
Although right in front of his eyes, our hero didn't have the necessary tools to extract them. His health was low and his hunger bar was depleting by the second. Staying in the water just a moment too long could return as being fatal.
Okay.
He quickly smelted his iron and made himself an iron pickaxe. However, before he could fully extract the diamonds, there was just one more problem he needed to solve, and that is the potential of lava flowing underneath.
There you go.
He didn't want to come this far, only to see his precious diamonds being burned to crisps.
Oh, lava.
After preventing the occurrence of any type of danger, the time to mine the diamonds finally arrived.
Like, starting off. Oh, being able to start off with diamonds, you don't know how amazing that is.
And being able to hold such a valuable material can really change the character of one person.
Oh, 7 precious diamonds. My precious.
The only problem left was to get back to the surface alive.
I wish I knew how to get out of here. There's zombies over there.
With little to no hunger, the hero couldn't even swim properly.
Gosh, can I make it? Can I make it out of here?
The hero somehow made it out without drowning. It was already the next day above the surface, and it seemed like we had everything we needed to restart our adventure. Well, actually not everything. Our hero needed more iron to completely suit himself with iron protection, and the underwater cave was now definitely stripped of all the iron it had to offer. Our hero would need to go back to the old style of Minecraft and explore more caves. However, the only caves he could find were located in the darkest area of the island. With his brand new diamond axe in his hand, he headed to the caves. It was pitch black. His torch was the only thing that granted him any vision, and it was then when the mobs lurking in the shadow made their attempt to ambush.
Oh my gosh. Knew this wasn't the best place to come.
Is anybody still watching this? In the heat of the moment, our hero made a leap of faith, hoping he could reach the water a few meters away. But instead, he pulled off this embarrassing stunt. Now I understand the frustration you guys might feel. This guy's bad. Watching the rest is just going to annoy me. And trust me, the hero thought of that more in the moment than anyone else. But little do you guys know how far fate will take our hero in his next life. So please hang around a little longer if you can, because this next adventure is going to be a fun one. Day 21. A new day, a new life. Starting from nothing, our hero must begin his third adventure, and he needed to prioritize getting He's already wasted the last few days making barely any progress on this island. He needed to get out of here as soon as possible. However, his underwater cave was already stripped of iron, and we already know what will happen if we return to the other caves. So where the hell could we find even more caves? Fuck!
Wait, there's a cave here?
Just disappointment. Two perfectly fine caves were located literally a few blocks off spawn. Nevertheless, he was lucky. These caves were relatively safe and had a lot of resources. Iron, coal, you name it. This cave system reached the deepest depths of this map. And perhaps the gods of Altar didn't fully abandon this distressed soul after all.
Do you see that?
Yes, diamonds. Things were finally blowing in our hero's direction.
Holy cow. Oh, yes.
When he returned to the surface, it was already the night of day 22.
Thank you so much. Oh. Yes, we're back. And it's night again.
And he spent the rest of the night in his small hut, smelting iron.
Oh yeah. I'm ready for you. Come at me, bro. Minecraft is kind of crazy. Like, I feel like this one picture kind of tells how cool Minecraft is. Look at the perspective on the left.
Day 23. A perfect day to set sail back to the capital. Our hero had crafted himself some fine iron armor last night, as well as a glistening diamond axe. As he departed the island, he came across a few sheep floating on the ocean, and they were slain for some food.
I'm not about to face a bunch of wolves on sea.
The remaining day was spent rowing the boat to Alheim. After a day of sailing, our hero arrived at Alheim at noon, and honestly, there wasn't much to do. He spent his time underneath the sun gathering food that he would much need in his second attempt of exploring the abandoned capital. The sun has set, and merely 5 days after that fateful night, our hero was back to redeem himself.
Ow.
And he's off.
Ow. Not you guys, not you guys.
Our hero dodged the spawning mobs with ease and headed directly to the dark tunnel. Inside, he made sure not to stop, as he knew well that anything could happen in the darkness. Just a few meters more, and he will pass the hole that once took his life. He was on high alert to not make the same mistake again.
No, you see, it's these freaking holes,
Look, he's a stupid hero. But luckily, there were no mobs around that would hurt him. He quickly escaped and headed directly to an enchantment table located within the district of Vulgary. Our hero swiftly entered the enchantment chamber and placed his diamond axe on the table in hopes to get some level of sharpness.
What? Unbreaking? That is not what I want.
No luck. He thought that perhaps creating a perfect enchantment table setup might give him a different result. But before he could do that, a trigger was pressed.
What happened?
A mob had stood on a nearby elevator that powered a command block to teleport a nearby player to a specific location. While there wasn't much distance between his current location and the enchantment table, the hostile mob still made it difficult to travel back unhurt. Back in his chamber, the hero placed his diamond axe on the table once more, and the result didn't change.
Is there no way of getting sharpness?
When he realized the sun had already risen, and all access to materials within the capital was closed off. Day 25. Our hero needed to wait a whole day to get access back into the capital, so he decided to spend his morning traveling back to Fort Brillinger in an attempt to collect his first Eye of Ender after his passing. And honestly, it was quite easy.
Oh, that scared the crap out of me. That's one down. That's one. Oh, chop sword. You are dead. We're good. And it draws some items.
By the time our hero finished sweeping up the prison, the day already began setting, and it was time to return back to the capital. And how the capital proved itself to be much more life-threatening than the fort. Tonight's operation was to locate the import stock that held a bunch of goods. Here, imports from all over Altar are gathered, and amongst them are, yes, diamonds. However, our hero wasn't the only one attracted to the shininess of the ores. Dead Alhamian archers. While killing one of them wasn't difficult, the battle quickly took an unexpected turn. A single shot could end our hero's life instantly.
Sort of. I knew it! Well, hold on. Ouch. Ouch. This is very not good. This is very not good, guys. This is very not good.
While he was able to recover a portion of his health before he realized he was surrounded.
Oh my gosh. This area is absolutely infested with these things.
Somehow being able to escape his harrowing situation, our hero wasn't going to let his second night at the capital end as a failure. After getting a moment to breathe, he commenced.
Y'all come in here. Y'all. Let's believe you come in here.
are back and it's almost morning.
The sky was getting brighter, and our hero was successfully able to survive his second night in Alfheim. He was victorious. Day 26 was a day of celebration. Our hero felt achievement for surviving one night in the most dangerous area of Altar. It was raining today, and to him, that called for procrastination. With the diamonds he was rewarded with, he made himself a brand new diamond chestplate.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And this, my friends, is the most confident you'll see our hero be throughout this whole series. After much walking around, the hero had finally decided on what his next objective was going to be, and that was to build himself a house. However, it couldn't be just any house. No, it had to be a house located as high up as his ego was during this recording. Thus, he climbed a very tall mountain that he named Mount Kelly, named after the dolphin that he met on his travel here. It was time to build himself a nice and cozy home. Day 27. The rain had stopped, and from the eastern horizon rose a beautiful morning sun. The hero had spent all of last night flattening the top of his mountain to build his house on top of. This day mainly consisted of gathering wood and building the foundations of what will be his new home. Besides that, nothing much happened. Though at around midnight there were some unwanted guests.
Oh my gosh, you guys sing it.
However, they were dealt with quickly.
Got him.
The day ended with our hero heading to bed a little before dawn. Now, the problem with building a house 100 blocks above the ground was that it was extremely difficult to get up as well as to get down. In the current situation, our hero had a single pillar of water traveling from the house to the river, but after falling into the river, it required our hero to climb a few dozen blocks to finally get back to ground level. And that was very time consuming. To solve this problem, he was in need for some scaffolding blocks, and he knew just the right place to get them.
Why are you so fast? Oh my gosh, these guys are so fast. Or are you the same speed as I? No, you guys are clearly much faster. You're swirling.
Night has arrived, and we find our hero getting ready to enter the capital for his 4th time. Instead of going over the bridge, our hero took the liberty of swimming across the water, which led him to encounter these fellows.
The dude's got a trident. The dude's got a trident. I want a trident. Ow. Okay, that actually kind of hurts. That hurts.
The scaffolding block he was looking for were located on the other side of Alfheim from where he entered, Lantern Boulevard, a district that used to be filled with the fragrances of dishes gathered from all over the province. But in the hardcore multiverse, it now functions as a refugee to some merchants who have survived the purge. Here, our hero can get an abundant supply of scaffolding blocks to make himself a scaffolding elevator. As he collected the remaining few scaffolding blocks, the sun rose, restricting our hero from looting any further. Day 29 was used to build the scaffolding elevator as well as continuing the construction of the house. Although he seemed to be focused on building, the mind of our hero is filled with the next steps he must carry out inside the city tonight. His plan was to return to the docks and collect more diamonds for a diamond pickaxe so he can retrieve an enchantment table that he wanted for his home. Additionally, he wanted to find an anvil and a certain merchant that traded emeralds for some rotten flesh. Night arrived and our hero headed to the corrupted city. His first target was the import dock.
Ow, ow. Oh my gosh.
With barely any hearts left, he somehow was able to retrieve just enough diamonds to make himself a diamond pickaxe. Next objective was to get an enchantment table. There were two in Volgri, one of which was located in the enchantment chamber from earlier and the other one located inside the library entrance. Our hero also realized that it might be a good idea to break the bookshelves inside the enchantment chamber to collect some books he could later use to enchant. With that done, he quickly moved on to his next mission, which was to find the rotten flesh merchant. He had a general idea of where this man may be, however, before he was able to reach the location, it was already morning, and trading wasn't permitted during the day.
Oh my gosh, what the heck? What? What?
He returned to Mount Kelly to continue building his house. On top of building the walls, the hero also created a small room inside the mountain adjacent to his home to make a small enchantment space. He had more than enough blocks from last night to create a complete set of bookshelves, and to also make himself a ton of enchanted books. Prot 1, Sharpness 1, Sharpness 2. He was able to pull most of the enchantments needed to give himself a major upgrade. All he needed left was an anvil, and he didn't have the resources to craft it. Tomorrow he must go back to the capital and pick up the mission that he left uncompleted. Our hero started day 31 with getting himself some more wood. Upon returning, he met some unexpected guests as well.
Hey, whoa, what the heck? You look super weird, bro. Do I want to fight them? Why are you guys looking at me? You're freaking already pulling it. Is that it? Wait, I'm confused.
The day was mostly used for building and decorating the house. Our hero made himself a few arrows as well as placed that.
You know what? This is kind of creepy. Oh.
Tonight's mission was to find an anvil at all costs, and if possible, also get some ores. Our hero seemed to forget that anvils are actually a very abundant block to get in Alhaim. That is because they are used as torch holders for decoration around the map.
We should have gone like efficiency on our pickaxe. That's not the problem right now. The problem right now is we need an anvil, and I know exactly where to go to get an anvil. Actually, it might be much closer. Okay, yeah, we got an anvil. We got 3. Awesome.
It seemed that when the creeper exploded, it also broke a few item frames that had anvils in it. While it nearly cost the hero's heart to stop, the creeper explosion did reward him with the item he needed. What is left for tonight's schedule is to go back to the import stock. There, our hero could hopefully get the ores he was looking for.
Into these.
Successfully getting the materials he needed, our hero began heading back home. That is when he was assaulted by a strange phenomenon.
I think we get netherite from one of these guys.
And before he knew it, he was surrounded.
Somebody get off the elevator. What the heck?
Barely escaping alive, our hero found himself near the tunnel that connected Volgry with the industrial district. Although dark, the area was calm and only a few mobs spawn at a slow but constant rate. Our hero found himself a superb XP farm. The sky was getting brighter, but the rain continued to pour. This meant that players within Alhain still had access to getting materials. Rain. What an excellent weather. With only a few mobs to worry about, our hero was able to return to the docks to loot more blocks. As time passed, the sky seemed to grow gloomier and gloomier. By noon, Alhain was underneath a massive thunderstorm.
That was... Oh, what the heck? Is that even loud?
Even so, it was still our hero's best chance for exploration. During combat, an undead soldier had dropped its netherite axe, a very valuable weapon that needed some repairing. Our hero then headed to the upper level district in search for the rotten flesh merchant.
Awesome. What is that? If you could just get like another one. We have two. Okay. Here on out. I'll just have to run. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Go, go.
The rotten flesh merchant was nowhere to be found. It continued raining for the rest of the day, and before he knew it, night had arrived. Ration was going low, and without getting any sleep the past few days, our hero's body was reaching its limit. And whenever there's fatigue, they always appear.
God damn it. Come on, Phantom. Battle the roof. Ah, why am I so bad at phantom killing? Okay, just stay still to kill phantoms.
A stable food supply was something absolutely necessary to complete this 100-day hardcore. Time was money, and wasting a whole day hunting for food wasn't a profitable plan. Our hero needed a farm, a massive farm. Dawnfield, Alhain's main food source, a tradition that has been cultivated since the foundation of Altar's great capital. Here, our hero can get all the wheat in the world. The sun was glistening on the morning of day 33. Access to all materials in the capital has been closed off, and our hero is left to just wander around the city. While wandering may sound like a waste of time, he was actually doing quite the opposite. By scavenging the city, our hero can memorize landmarks that he could return at night to retrieve some very valuable materials.
Taking one. Oh.
He began with searching the port area and gradually moving down south. After a long day of searching, the sun began to set and our hero sought shelter in one of the apartments in the upper middle district. It has been 3 whole days since our hero first entered the capital, and his long terrifying sleepover was coming to an end. It was time to go back home and enchant some equipment with the XP he collected the past few days. While getting wood, he recalled spotting a herd of skeleton horses near the river. He was able to grab a saddle from one of the horses he found in Alhain, so with that in his hand, it was time for our hero to find himself a companion that he would use to travel with him all over Altar. Upon much debating, he has found his horse.
I think you're the fastest one. Okay, let's take you home.
As a celebration of fellowship, our hero took the horse on a little stroll in the night city.
Whoa, I just noticed that. We have so much health. What?
The following day was used mostly for building the house. In another reality, our hero was known for being a builder, so he took pride in making the house look the best it could be. However, in a few days, he was planning on departing to the desert to defeat all 3 bosses that tyrannize the dry land. And our hero feared that the supplies he would need to defeat them would be too much for his inventory space. He would need an ender chest to carry his excess supplies around, and he had in mind a certain place where he could get those. The plan would commence tomorrow night. For now, our hero focused on completing the house. After spending all of day 36 building, night had finally arrived. At this point, a trip to Alheim was the same as going to a trip to IKEA in our hero's mind. With his skeleton horse, he galloped to where the bank was, in hopes in finding himself some marvelous ender chests. However, his high spirits was short-lasting. It seemed like the game creator foresaw this event and questioned whether getting ender chests this easily was fair or not, and it seems like he chose the latter option. No ender chests were found in the bank. For a brief moment, our hero was very troubled, not because of the absence of the ender chests, but because he couldn't recall the moment he destroyed them at all. However, a few seconds later, he forgot what he was troubled about, so he moved on with his life and focused on finding the materials he needed to decorate his house. Day 37 and 38 were used mostly for building. And nothing else really happened. It was simply a day of repeating the process of building, then gathering materials, building, then gathering materials. Day 39. Our hero went back to IKEA. Not for gathering resources, since that's illegal during the day, but to collect a few XP points from slaying hostile creatures that roamed the city. Whilst the sun was still out, he thought he might as well spend his day in the capital, searching for the rotten flesh merchant one last time. But as expected, no villager was found. At night, our hero camped at the bridge to farm for some more XP. Nearly 40 days have passed since the beginning of his hardcore adventure, and only one Eye of Ender was in our hero's inventory. Tomorrow, our hero will leave the capital with the intent of conquering the desert. On the morning of day 40, a small boat can be spotted from the banks of Alheim, heading west. Today was a day of traveling, and our hero would spend a whole day sailing the river. By night, he arrived at the boundary between the grasslands and the desert. His target destination was close by, however it would be far too dangerous to set up a camp there. Instead, he mined out a little hut out of the wall for him to stay in overnight. Day 41. It was time. Just a few hundred blocks away from his camp was one of the most ancient sites discovered in Altar. The Tower of Eyes, as the locals call it, is an undated architectural structure that is devoid of any historical records. Nobody knows who built this, nor does anybody know why it stands. What we do know is that a certain creature has recently marked the tower area as its own territory, and that creature has been spotted carrying an Eye of Ender. Inside the tower is a bell that can summon the beast.
there he is. Ow!
A single hit was enough to wipe out a fourth of the hero's health.
Wait.
It was impossible to approach the boss without getting gravely injured. On top of that, the beast can move surprisingly fast.
In your face, at least one hit. Ouch! How do you hit before I could hit you? Eat bread. What happens if You're right there. Oh, I just failed building. I'm supposed to be a builder. What?
Our hero doesn't have a moment to rest. As a man who has been playing Minecraft for several years, our hero wanted to land at least one blow to the monster with his netherite axe before resorting to another plan of attack. Because you see, our hero is not just any hero, but a hero of pride.
In your face. There it is. And we got a saddle. That is our second eye of Ender.
No matter the way, he still did it. He had successfully collected his second Eye of Ender. Now he will begin heading west to a certain entrance hidden deep inside a very dry ravine. It was late last night that our hero arrived at the ancient site of Takra. He had cut out a small hole in the wall to rest in, and now that it was morning, he was ready to get his hands on his third Eye of Ender.
I'm not taking the risk again. Okay, there we go. Oh, let's get it. Second time. Easy beat. We good. Okay. Are there two inside of it? Okay. No! Freaking! We can use the turtle to dock and no, we can't. Awesome. I wish I could collect all these arrows.
After a long-fought battle, our hero managed to rise as the victor. In his inventory were 3 Eyes of Ender, the most he had had since the beginning of his hardcore survival life. There was only one boss left to defeat in the desert, and our hero didn't want to waste even a second. His next target was the ancient desert temple, but before that, his gear required some maintenance, and using the rest of the day to gather materials wasn't a bad idea either. In the evening, our hero came across the mineshaft, where he would spend the night preparing for the grand battle that would take place tomorrow. Casted by the beaming sun was a single moving shadow. Our hero had arrived in Hana in the evening of day 43. It has been 30 days since his last visit. A scent of trauma and nostalgia filled the dead temple. The last memory he had of this place was of the time he ran out of the boss room with his tail between his legs. Hopefully this time he could renew that memory with a much prouder one. Illuminated by the setting sun, our hero pressed the button. Before the shulkers made their shots, our hero managed to land a few hits on the boss.
Oh, that was close.
With the running skills he had polished through his visits to Alhaim, our hero dodged the shulker pellets with ease. Alongside his enchanted diamond armor, our hero brought another gadget that he didn't have with him before.
What? It's able to teleport? Since when?
However, it didn't take much time for him to realize that lava was futile against the teleporting shulkers. Instead, water proved itself to be much more useful during the battle.
So cool, what the heck is happening? How is he doing that? Ouch.
It seemed like he wasn't the only one having a difficult time. Our hero took the time going to each of the shulkers and gradually dealing them damage.
One on the right, one on the right. Dodge that, dodge that. Oh, did you see that dodging? He's too good at this game. Get it? I think now it's just the boss, dude. Ouch. What happened to the guardian on your head? Four. Yes! We have officially defeated the desert bosses. Let's get it.
He had finally redeemed himself after 30 days of living in this harsh world. As a reward for defeating all 3 of the desert bosses, our hero was granted passage to the temple vault where he could extract 1 block of his choosing.
Yeah, I think I'll take emeralds. Okay, we got 1 block of emerald.
Inside what used to be the most traumatic building of his hardcore life, our hero spent the night feeling the most at ease he had felt in days. It was time to head back home. However, before that, our hero had one last mission to complete. He desperately needed glass for his house, and sand was a rarity in the grasslands. Thus, he spent the morning collecting sand for him to bring back home. When he decided that he gathered enough, he began rowing his boat eastwards for home. He arrived at Alhaim in the morning of day 45. Without giving himself a moment of rest, he went straight into repairing his gear, as well as organizing the materials he had collected during his trip to the desert. During the day, he started installing the glass he made from smelting the sand in the furnace. His large wood box was finally looking more like a habitable house. During his construction, our hero decided that another variation of wood was necessary to make this house perfect. At sunset, our hero rode his horse to Lake Claudio, a site known for its beautiful lake and its rich spruce trees. Our hero woke up inside a log cabin located right beside the lake. He had arrived here late last night and crashed into the bed upon his arrival. Nearly 50 days were to pass since the beginning of his hardcore survival life, and he was planning to spend his last few days before day 50 to just relax. Somewhere inside, he knew that it was probably going to be his last chance to truly enjoy his free time. Just outside was a vast spruce forest, and our hero spent the majority of his morning collecting more than enough wood for his house. For the remainder of his day, he planned on exploring the cave nearby. Early in the morning, he departed for home. He would spend the rest of today and tomorrow refining his house. This meant adding color to some of the windows, establishing a wooden framework around the building, and beginning the process of building the roof. On the night of day 49, our hero finally began preparation. Similar to the desert, the Snowlands was also a territory shared between 3 malicious behemoths. Compared to the ones in the desert, they were a few times more dangerous. It was absolutely necessary for our hero to get whatever resources he could get that would aid him during his cold journey. Thus, he returned to Dawnfield to supply himself with more wheat. The morning of day 50 was raining. This allowed him to stay in the capital a little longer. In the markets of Lantern Boulevard, our hero visited the merchant who have survived the unknown apocalypse. Using the emeralds he was rewarded from the Temple of Judo, he purchased some potions of instant healing. While strolling around the abandoned market, he also found what used to be an ore shop and was able to get his hands on some precious diamonds and emeralds. He took his time going back home, defeating any mobs he spotted for XP.
Oh my gosh.
After he had enough with slaying, our hero returned home to spend the night prepping for his great journey ahead. In just a few days' time, our hero will have to face one of the most brutal environments in Altar. Dangerous terrains, corrupted land, and spine-chilling mobs. There are a plethora of things to worry about in this cold adventure. Tomorrow, we head to the Snowlands.